In the Mimics Field this week, we say alright to new patron Tufty McTavish. We discuss PaperKlay, A Night in the Woods, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and go back to our roots with Elden Ring Nightreign.
Yeah, so we played Elden Ring Nightreign. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew that it was is it multiplayer? Can you play it single player? My assumption is that you can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can play it in single player.
But with randoms, I think.
Oh, you can't just do it with bots?
Don't think so.
Bots. Interesting. Okay, I didn't realise that. So yeah, it's set in the lands between, but I don't think it's a spoiler. It would appear that it's sometime after the events of Elden Ring. And yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Oh, many things. Do you want me to go on?
Just one thing.
Well, after the sort of small tutorial, you're dumped at the round table hold.
Classic.
And it is battered to fuck, I would say.
It's a good Scottish term, that.
Yeah, let's translate for the English. Decrepit.
Okay, right, I'm with you now. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is a little rundown, isn't it?
That's the one. Fucking away is that. Rubbish way to talk.
So set in the future. What do you do? What is the game?
The game is Elden Ring, but almost like a Fortnite style. So yeah, all the lads get together and they drop. You pick your character. There's a selection of 5 or 6 different characters. You have a choice of character to pick, and you all go on an expedition to fight a boss. I'll laugh at that because did we reach the boss on any of our attempts? Did we fuck?
Did we get anywhere near reaching the boss on any of our attempts?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're flown in on the wings of an eagle. They drop you a random point on a map, and it would seem, run around and try and level up as much as you can. So, unlike in Elden Ring, where you get your runes. Is it runes in Elden Ring? Yes, runes. Use that to level up your character. In Nightreign, you still get runes, and you can level up Sights of Grace. But it seems different. There's not any real customization. Like you just seem to default level up across the board. It's quite difficult to describe. Like someone jump in and save me here.
I'm coming. It's just like playing Elden Ring Nightreign again. The roles have reversed though. Yeah, it's like it's much more streamlined, isn't it? The emphasis seems to be on speed and getting from place to place. So yeah, when you get to a Sight of Grace, hit triangle and then press X to level up, and that's it. And you just all the attributes go up a little bit.
Yes.
So there's no looking at menus. There's not real. I mean, we were exploring, but you're not taking your time to explore because obviously you're conscious that the storm is closing in, and you're trying to level up and find better gear, which seemed a bit stingy with that. Maybe we just weren't getting the hang of the traversal, but
it was quite tricky because like in the tutorial, you're sort of just thrown new weapons to sort of try out, and each new weapon will have its own spirit ash, almost I want to call it, like from the
like a
Elden Ring. Yeah. But when we were exploring on our first run, really unsure of how it was going to work, and we went into underneath a castle.
Yeah.
And
like the catacombs, weren't they? From
OG
Elden Ring.
And then the storm, the night closed in, and because we were there, we were knackered that we couldn't get back out because as soon as you are in there, it's quite aggressive in how much life it takes off you. Quite big chunks. You're only in it for like seconds, and that's you. But like once you die, you regenerate somewhere else on the map that's safe. But I'm pretty sure the storm continues to close in.
Yeah,
it's tough because like there was a couple of different times like you get at least 2 prompts to say the night is gaining traction or something, and then there's another one that tells you that it's
closing in, basically.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, much like all FromSoft stuff, it's pretty inscrutable what the hell is going on a lot of the time. But yeah, I mean, it's essentially you are running around trying to level up until you get to a boss encounter, and it seems like the storm. We had 3 runs, and it seemed like the storm was trying to close in so that we'd end up fighting a boss in the center of the storm. And that's like if we were to ever get past that boss, and it was it a different boss every time as well? Seemed to be.
Yeah, I think so.
Then we would, well, God knows what would happen next, but each time we died at that boss. Pretty early on in the boss as well. If that was even a boss, like it had its own health bar, but God knows.
Yeah, and it seems like you can die as many times as you want, but if you all die during a boss fight, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And every time you die, you lose one of those levels that you've put on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
At the Sites of Grace, but to be fair, once you die once, you can go back and get your
runes.
You can go back and get your runes in the same way as you can in Elden Ring, but sometimes they're in the other side of the storm.
Yep.
So if they're on the other side of the storm, there's not really very much you can do.
No.
But we found most of the time by the time we got to the boss, we were back at level 1, so we literally stood no chance. By the time we were at the boss.
But when you're knocked, on you go.
Sorry, on you go. No, I was just going to say, I think it feels like being back on the first couple of days of Elden Ring again, though, and you're like, I need to work out what I'm actually supposed to be doing here. It's not so much. It's just that whole, here's the map. Where do I want to go in the map? There is a lot of things on this map. Like, what are they showing me? But I did actually enjoy it, and maybe that's just kind of harking back to that Elden Ring time where I didn't think I would ever enjoy this, but it was just fun, the 3 of us going in there and dying and laughing, and then just these big things chucking shit at you, and you're like, well, that's killed me, and then falling around on the floor and see if one of you can. I think it's an interesting choice that to bring someone back to life, you need to knock utter shit out of them with your weapons. It's not as much, heal me. It's like, no, you batter them until they come back to life. Which I guess it's fine, but it's just going to take a little bit of learning to see what we're actually supposed to do.
I think you're saying there that when you're knocked down, like you don't die straight away, you can crawl around, kind of like it's. Think about it like Fortnite. Like you can, if you're playing teams, you can crawl around, try and get into cover for someone. I say cover. I cannot think of a moment of cover in Nightreign. For someone to come and heal, to strike at this sort of. What do you call that? Like not a pie chart, but like a.
Yeah, it was like segments, almost like the stamina wheel in Breath of the Wild, isn't it? But you're trying to reduce that down, but then every time you're not hitting your ally to resuscitate them, that bar is then filling up again. Mm-hmm. So it's like, there's a real like risk reward of, well, I can try and revive you here, but I'm then left susceptible and.
Yeah,
I might get bad as well, and then we'll all die. It's punishing.
Yeah. One thing I noticed was that when I was knocked down by the storm, I was close enough to a site of grace, and I just coincidentally crawled into it.
Yeah.
And because when you run through a site of grace, it replenishes your health.
Right. Yeah.
So when I crawled into it, it replenished my health. so I could get up and run. But because I was so far into the storm, I died pretty soon after.
Yeah. It's what is odd, and I guess maybe it's like one of those things where we need to watch a few tutorials or something, or like some decent people playing it. But it's hard to imagine feeling powerful at the moment. That's what was great about Elden Ring is it's hard to start with, but eventually, your health bar is massive and you're doing loads of damage. My little arrow was doing fuck all damage.
Yeah.
You know, it was great because I was standing miles away, but it was like a pea shooter. So and I didn't find any new bows in any treasure chests anywhere. So I was just kind of stuck with that same shitty bow and arrow, and it's like, there's got to be a knack to leveling up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's any permanent like progression at all.
I think there is. I think it says I'm sure it says in the tutorial at some point, like you are kind of bombarded is a strong word to use, I think, but there's a lot of stuff chucked at you in terms of how the game plays during that tutorial, like, well, this does that, and if you go here, this might happen. But I'm sure there are permanent upgrades. But in Round Table Hold, there's like an arena, so you can go out and you can practice. You can practice with your character, and it looks, because I went very quickly before I joined you guys. There are a few different options in terms of what your character has, and also you can upgrade your character's level. So you don't have to just go into that area at level 1.
Right.
It looks like the max level is 15.
Oh, so you could start at level 15?
Yeah, but as soon as you leave that area, you just go back to 1 again. But you can practice at level 15 if you wanted to.
Right, so you can't start an
No.
Was it an expedition or something?
Expedition, yeah.
So you always start at level 1.
Yeah, that's I assume.
Yeah.
And we don't know about the map, because obviously we were... What was the name of the boss we were attempting to find? Face?
Haliparus or something. It was something with the heads and tricephalus.
That's
something like
Trisyphilis, episode title. Brilliant.
Tricephalus,
yeah. So I don't know if every boss has its own area. I would assume so.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
I'd imagine every boss has its own expedition, and each expedition's in a different area.
But at no point did we fight that boss. Oh,
No.
do you know? I think the structure of it isn't there 3 nights? So
3
we
nights,
probably got
so
to
we
the
were in
end of
day
night
1.
1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So
Oh, is that what that? Really?
I think that is, yeah. So if we'd have beaten that boss, we'd have gone on to day 2. And then if we'd beat the one at the end of that, we'd have gone on to day 3. And then at the end of that is the big boss of that expedition, I think.
So that's how far away from getting to the boss we were.
Christ. That's soul destroying. I mean, it is fun, as Alex said. It was fun to play, and it kind of... Yeah, it's almost like a shame that the storm's closing in and that you're being pushed to progress, because it would be nice to just run around and kill some stuff and
level up and go and fight.
Yeah.
Because unlike in Fortnite, where it'll give you the storm is going to close in 2 minutes and this is where it's going to go. Like, it will, after I don't know how long a session is, but after a little while it'll close somewhat, and then it'll be like, right, that's it, and it'll just continue to close in on what would look like a wee symbol of an Erd tree on the map. Is where you need to try and get to.
Yeah,
that's my assumption.
Well, I mean, we did 3 attempts, and that was 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And only 2 trophies to show for it, Alex, as well.
Yeah.
2 trophies are better than none.
Yeah, that's true. And we did pick up. So at the end of your run, you do get some stuff. You get some kind of relic that you can sort of put into a slot for any of the characters.
Yeah.
Or give them like some kind of boon,
Boost.
like 20% extra spear damage was one that I saw, or something along those lines. None of which seemed useful for the character I was playing with, but I guess that's some kind of permanent progression.
And I'm assuming probably the further you go, the better those relics that you'll find to build the slots, I would imagine.
Yeah, and the better weapons, and then all that stuff.
Did you speak to anyone in Round Table Hold?
No.
But I think all the people around the Round Table Hold, other than the priestess or whoever she was, are the characters.
Yeah. But it's
Like, I thought it was Ranny the Witch that was sitting in the end that character and she disappeared. So,
Yeah. Funny one. It's a weird... It kind of makes me want to just play Shadow of the Erd Tree, to be completely honest. It makes me think I'd quite like all this without all of the multiplayer stuff. But then I did enjoy just playing with you guys as well. So
yeah, that was a bit I did like. Whereas I thought if I was just trying to do this on my own, I would have no desire to learn. Whereas I think the three of us doing it together, I'm like, that's actually quite fun.
It is fun.
Yeah,
it is fun. But at some point, I don't think I've personally got the patience to keep doing the same thing over and over again without any sense of progression. I think that would be my thing. Like, that's because that's a... Although I love roguelikes and stuff, I don't know. I want to still feel like I'm getting somewhere. And I'm sure we would. I mean, an hour isn't much to put into any FromSoft game, is it? Let's be honest. But yeah, weird one.
We did see Enemy Failed at least once.
Yep, we did. We've always got that. Looks good as well. I think it looks better than base Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm. Remember the amount of criticism that got? Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it's been a while since I've played it, but maybe it's been cleaned up a bit since. But I thought it looked decent, actually. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. So.
Yeah.
But it's got that, that confusion and wonder that you have at the start of these games. Like, you have not a fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah.
There's loads of nooks and crannies and everything to go and just wander into, and then just some giant pot man just starts to spin at you and scalp you, or someone launches something at you, or you just get random crystallis or whatever they are, crystallites or whatever they're called coming at you. You're like, there's something around every corner, which fun.
Or a big old troll throwing flaming pots at you from on top of a castle.
Yeah.
I never seen that until I was dead. Because you were like, what?
You're like, how the fuck did I miss that?
Yeah, but we killed him on the next run.
Did.
So that was good. Yeah,
you get mega jumps. Don't forget the mega jumps.
Oh,
it's quite. I mean, the whole thing is just quite silly, isn't it? Like those mega jumps, the battering your friends to bring them back to life, all that kind of stuff. It's just, and you can basically just clamber up walls, pretty much willy-nilly as well. Yeah. See, I quite like that about
a horse.
Yeah, although you run about as fast as a horse as well in this, which is good.
Yeah, there's like 3 different speeds. You can go your normal, then you're running, holding down circle, and then if you hold down circle and hit, like click in L3.
Yeah.
Rocket boost.
So it's just funny seeing Elden Ring recontextualized as a completely different type of game. Do you think there's any... is there any risk that they are, pun not intended, tarnishing their reputation, like FromSoft's reputation and Elden Ring's reputation, by making a game like this? Like a sort of, modern, it's not really live service, but, multiplayer kind of thing. Are they cheapening the brand at all, do you feel?
I can see where you're coming from, but I think at the heart of it, the actual gameplay is as difficult and as tight as the rest of it. I think as all the other games, I think it's everything round about it that's maybe you would see as cheaping it, but I think people play a a FromSoft game for that challenge. And I think this still has that. So I can see why it's maybe not reviewed as highly as a FromSoft game, but I still think they're probably quite proud of what they've produced here, because I still think it's giving you that FromSoft experience in a different way. And a multiplayer experience. I think if you had 3 like diehard FromSoft people playing this together, they would absolutely love it.
I don't think they needed to put it as Elden Ring. Like, they obviously have, because they've got the roundtable hold, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like, these things are interchangeable. Like, they always made the decision to do that, but there's probably nothing stopping them saying it's called Nightreign and it's its own thing. You don't go to the roundtable hold, you go to, I don't know, something else.
The Nexus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess again, this is probably a more positive spin on it as well, but like looking at it as a sort of the way the industry is now, reusing assets from a already established game allowed them to get this out relatively quickly, and it's not like they've just made it Elden Ring 2 and reused all the assets and, you know, added some story stuff. It's like, it's a completely different game. But so I wonder if that's like, I think that's quite a good thing. It reminds me of RGG and what they do with the Like a Dragon games. It's gone, right, well, we've got all this cool stuff. We've got the core gameplay stuff. Let's just change things up and get one out in the next year or two kind of thing. It's like, I think that's probably a good formula for companies to follow to get, so, you know, so that they're not stuck making games for 8 years and then all of their hopes are pinned on that game kind of thing.
And it's almost like it's the same way as you see all these remasters and everything coming out of like the bigger studios. Like, there's probably an element of this is there to help fund the next game as well. So they're like, well, let's reuse what we've done there, put it in there, get some money in to keep the development of the next big game or your Elden Ring 2 or whatever is coming.
Yeah.
So, and it's not a bad game. Like,
No.
And I don't think it does tarnish it, as you said, Ben, pun intended.
Big question though, and take a moment, clear your mind, deep breath. Do you genuinely think we will play it again?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you think so?
Yes.
Do you?
Well, if you two are keen, then sure, I will.
Oh, you meant together?
Well, it's going to be dog shit playing it alone. Like, if you thought that was bad tonight, it would be awful with strangers. I don't see how that would work at all.
I'm keen to play it with strangers.
Of course,
because there's less
idiots. You don't have to revive me and Alex constantly.
Well, no. Just so like, there's less pressure for you all to go and do the same thing. And like, you can be like, I don't know who these folk are, I'm just going to go and piss off over here and see what's what. And, and learn
the ropes a little bit.
To then come back and then be like, hey, I was with these two suckers who stayed alive. I died because I went in the wrong direction.
You go and do that and learn everything you need to know. And then when you've learned everything you need to know, come back and play with us.
Yeah, we'll wait for you. Yeah. But no, it's good.
Like one of those, I'll wait for you.
It's good. It's good fun. I think, well, I mean, Lewis, if you do end up doing that, report back. Let us know what you think. But I think, if you've got a couple of mates and you like Elden Ring, I think that's quite important.
Yeah.
Then there's fun to be had here. And apparently, there's like 8 bosses.
Oh, is there?
I think. So there's a lot of game based on what we've managed to achieve in the space of an hour.
That essentially, isn't it?
What you mean? Like they're going to add more?
They'll add more, I would imagine.
I think they came out and said they're not treating it like a live service game. So whether that
I don't think they'll treat it like a live service. I don't think they'll necessarily add one every so often, but I'd be shocked if they don't add some more to it.
Yeah.
There's definitely space for more playable characters.
Yeah.
Even looks like there's going to be more, just the way it's laid out.
Yeah. And that would be cool, yeah. And I think as long as they don't go full live service and here's your battle pass, here's your buy all these, buy some cat ears for your character. Like, as long as they don't start doing all that, I think they haven't tarnished Elden Ring. But yeah, and I trust them. I think it's in good hands.
Yeah. You mentioned there, it's worth clarifying that this is after an hour.
Yes.
Yes.
Very important to clarify. These are early impressions. Very early impressions.
And we'd all be
We've
saying
almost
the same.
talked as long about it as we had played it.
Yeah.
That's podcasting.
We'd all be doing the same, or if we'd recorded straight after playing Elden Ring, because I remember playing a few hours Elden Ring and being like, I'm not sure about this, and it just been too difficult and feeling like it was just an impossible task, and then something about it just keeps bringing you back. Like,
Great point.
I remember when we were all playing it, we were like, oh, I'm here, I'm that, and then you, Ben, hours and hours later, like 8 hours later, said, anyone heard from Lewis since he said this? And like, I'd just been playing it constantly over that period of time.
Yeah.
And as soon as something clicks and something gets you, it's just something about these games that it's really difficult to put down.
Yeah. Well, maybe that will happen. But yeah, good point. I think we've literally just stopped playing it before recording this, so these are piping hot takes.
Yeah.
Fresh. Alex, last week you told us about Pipistrello.
Oh, yes, I did.
Have you carried on with that?
I have finished it.
Oh.
I have finished and love this game. I think particularly you, Lewis, would love this game. Ben, you would like it as well, I think. But I think, Lewis, you would love it. And yeah, I completely get why it's a yo-yo-vania. I've never known so many things you can do with a yo-yo. Like, if you think it, you can do it. There were some moments where I had to walk away from it. Some of it, like it's almost like yo-yo platforming. Like, there's certain bits. There's a bit towards the end that basically gives you a timer and you need to complete basically so many rooms. And the way the game's structured, and I don't know if I really explained this, like when you're in the dungeons, each part of the dungeon is basically a room. It's like almost a puzzle room, and you need to get from A to B using the yo-yo in certain ways to get around it. And then there's basically one bit towards the end, and I'm not going to spoil it. Gives you a 5-minute timer, and you need to complete it within those 5 minutes. And if you don't complete it in the 5 minutes, then you start it again, and it's not like it will save after each room. You will start from the beginning again. And then there was just every so often one of the rooms, I knew how to do it, but I just couldn't get the combination quite right to like, I was like, I know I need to do this and this to get through. And then you get through there, and then you get to the next one, then you run out of time. You're like, fuck. Then you're starting again. So each time you're getting a little bit further. And I'm like, right, that's enough. And I turned it off and walked away because I was getting frustrated, and then started again the next day and did it. That was fine. But yeah, just so good. I think Pocket Trap have done a great job here. Like, it really deserves the review scores it's got. It's just a really good Metroidvania, quite funny, well made. Yeah. Love it.
Is it the mini shoot adventure of this year? Is that a fair comparison?
That's a fair compliment, but I still feel like mini shoot went much more under the radar than this. This is at least available everywhere, so people can go and play this. Right. I think it's a shame that mini shoot is still locked on PC and has never made it anywhere else. But I get what you want, because it is almost that Zelda-like to a certain extent. Like a Metroidvania Zelda-like, kind of. And it's like even the different, it's got very good accessibility and difficulty settings, because you can go and you can maybe, like, there's certain bits in the game that you can go and collect canisters to increase your heart, or to increase your amount of badges that you can use and things like that, like the size of your backpack. But you can also go in and manually change that if you just want it to be a little bit easier, and manually add how many hearts you want, and manually add size of your backpack so you can get more badges, which makes things, or gives you different abilities. So I think it's very good in how it does that, but that doesn't necessarily make it really easy because it doesn't really help you with any of the platform and stuff. You can maybe turn off some damage if you fall down a hole, so you're not losing a heart every time you do that, but it doesn't actually help the challenge of it. It just maybe helps you in some of the battles. That's a fair way to put it. But yeah, I mean, I think this will probably not get the audience it deserves because it's just maybe a game that looks a wee bit too weird for some people. But I would recommend people check it out.
Could be a good Switch 2 game.
It'd be a very good Switch 2 game. I think this would be great on the Switch.
Since
I
we
think
are...
it'd be perfect on the Switch.
This episode is going live the day of the Switch 2 launch. The big day. So I've
Finally
been,
here.
Yeah, we're here. And I've actually managed to get something off my Switch backlog. After years, I bought Night in the Woods years and years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And just thought, I think someone recommended it in Discord. I think it might have been Phil. Recommended I play Night in the Woods. And so I bloody well did. And
you listened to Phil, but not me, who recommended Night in the Woods fucking years ago.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people have recommended it, obviously, and I think the controversy and the sort of tragedy around it after it was released, I don't know, it just kind of, pushed it further down my backlog a little bit. But played it, loved it. It's basically, what would you call it? Is it an adventure game? Is that what it's called? Like a narrative adventure? Walking sim, probably.
Yeah, walking sims, I would probably describe it.
But it's, really, really nicely written. So you're playing as May, who is a cat who's dropped out of college and returned to her hometown, shitty little hometown where industry's drying up, shops are closing down, stuff like that. All very familiar for many of us, I'm sure. But yeah, and it's about her kind of getting her head around that, how all of her friends have got jobs now and some of them are planning to move away, and it's about her kind of finding her place and doing some silly little mini games and things like that. Like there's a rhythm game, there's a bunch of just silly stuff.
Shoplifting.
Yeah, you can do crimes. You can go out for a bike ride with your best friend and have a little knife fight with each other. Just stuff like that. silly stuff that, late teens and early 20s people get into, apparently. And then there's like the story kind of escalates and there's sort of, vaguely supernatural-ish stuff happening. There's like dream sequences, which I didn't love. I think that was my least favourite part of it. I was almost dreaded going to sleep because then it kind of forces you to do this thing that...
I can't quite remember them.
You're sort of walking around looking for like 4 different musicians in a little sort of platformy bit. I think this is the weakest part of the game. That and maybe the rhythm game bits.
I find the rhythm game's quite tricky.
Yeah, they're too
to
hard.
get bang on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, in terms of the story and the dialogue, I think was fantastic. Like really, really well written, really kind of natural and funny. It didn't seem like, here's a 20-year-old. This is what a 20-year-old should say, right? It actually felt quite authentic. The music and the music, I realised so I've been listening to Gaming in the Wild, one of my favourite podcasts, for years now, and I never realised until playing this that the outro music that John uses is from Night in the Woods. I never knew that until it started playing, and I was like, I know this music, and it's same music he uses for that, which was quite cool. And it looks great as well, like the hustle and bustle in the town as you're walking around, and there's kind of cars going past and squirrels running around and leaves falling from the trees and stuff. It just feels alive. I just think it's a really good depiction of what I assume is like a little Midwest town. Yeah, very, very, very keen on it. It's about, I don't know, 8 hours ish to finish, 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, roughly about that. Like the nice ones, the music. I love the soundtrack.
Yeah,
You listen to the soundtrack and it's got some really weird, just like few tracks that are 10 seconds long, and it's just like some noise. But like the main theme, the title theme for that is amazing. There's a track called "Back to the Holler," which is fantastic. Really, really good soundtrack.
Yeah, really good. So very strong overall. I think it's on. PS Plus as well. So if anyone's got PS Plus and fancies a go, I think it'd be a lovely Portal game as well. Perfect for that. But yeah, perfect. Lovely. Looked great on the Switch OLED, which after today will probably never get used again.
Oh.
But yeah, really good, cozy as well. Nice little bedtime game. Cozy. Lewis,
that's me.
You have also played something cozy, presumably on your Nintendo Switch.
I haven't.
The coziest of all cozy games.
Yes.
Tell us.
Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Can I start this off by saying it was a right fucking ball ache getting that onto my OLED. Oh, dearie me.
What is the process in a nutshell?
If you remember, cast your minds back. You could only have your island on the Switch. You sort of started off.
Yeah. I
was like, there has to be a way, surely. So there's like an app you can download. I can't remember it. My Switch is in front of me, but I'm not going to turn it on. That basically packages up your island and allows you to transfer it to another Switch within range. So you've got to do all that sort of stuff. But because my original Switch hadn't been updated, I had to update it. As I updated it, went on the original Switch, downloaded this island package up thing. I was like, cool. Logged into it. I was like, yes, I want Callisto, the name of my island, to be transferred. Click. Okay, now go onto your receiving Switch and do the same. Okay, cool. I'll just go in and I'll re-download the what the fuck it is, the package up thing.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. But because they'd both been updated, there were virtual game cards.
Yeah.
So I could not just go to re-download software and go click.
Yeah.
And for it to work. It did not work.
Oh.
I think I had to wait a bit. I don't know if it was just timing, but like a half an hour for it to, and then I finally managed to get it on. And then it was like, right, you can transfer it over. But it was like, you're going to be looking at something and going, this should just be easy. I should just be like, click that there. Shouldn't have to go and fucking... I mean, fair enough, I had to update that Switch, but like, it was just a ball ache. An absolute ball ache. I was like, this is awful.
This is an amazing preview of what virtual game cards is going to be like.
And so I've got a Switch Lite, so my youngest daughter was wanting to play Donut County. She was like, can I play the donut game? I was like, fine. And she was like, it won't work. I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I need to do the virtual game card. But again, I can't remember the reason, but it wouldn't let me do it. And I was like, well, it's not working. I can't get it to work, so you have to, I don't know, sit and look at the wall.
Those are your options. Donut County, or look at a wall.
And it was just more difficult than it needed to be. And annoying. Like, so when you go into the virtual game cards, there's no search. So Ben, I know how many games you've got.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to scroll through them and find it.
Now, there is a filter that you can use, and that helps a lot if you're looking for a particular thing.
How do you filter? What options?
I can't remember what the button is, but it was pretty extensive when I clicked the button, and then you can filter by game type or what system it's loaded to or different stuff like that. So have a little fiddle around with the settings.
No, but I'm sure I've seen that, and I'm sure I fiddle. with settings all the time.
Have you done that setting where I said you can still do the download it to this thing without doing the virtual card thing?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Do that as well, and then you've got the option to do both.
Yeah.
So the only difference is if you do it that way, it will automatically like check online. So you have to have an internet connection while you're like when you're starting your session, like we always have had to, basically.
Yeah. But even still, you might have to have a lot of games within those filters. Just put a search.
Yeah.
Just let me search.
It's Nintendo. Can I? And again,
I'm 3 years.
I'm sounding like an apologist for Nintendo here, but a very niche situation. Just last night, in fact, we got a code for a game, but it was an American code. Now, my eldest son, his Switch account is an American account, so I downloaded it through his account, and then lent the game to myself on my Switch OLED. From that, so for 14 days, I've got access to that game, and then when I want to renew it, I can just do it again.
It's the button again.
Which is, I think that's pretty cool. Like, there's probably simpler ways to do it, like with the Steam Family Library, Alex.
Yeah,
it's just
simpler way would be
just available all the
a
time.
QR code.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a QR code, Nintendo.
But I was quite impressed with how neat that is, and the little animation of the game card moving from one system to the other. It's like, oh, that's cute. But Animal Crossing, when you managed to get it working.
Yeah, I'm a Nintendo apologist as well, Ben. You know that. But this was atrocious.
Beyond the pale.
Just wait till you're doing it later today for your Switch too.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Or earlier. When's this?
Yeah.
It'll be later today. It's 6:30 in the morning right now, isn't it? It's like 7:15. Precise,
I hope you're listening to this as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, the instant it goes live.
Yeah. We see the metrics.
Yes. The Animal Crossing New Horizons. I just fancied it. I fancied just going around my island. Had been a long time since I'd last played it, so I was like, I'm expecting it to be a disaster area. Weeds aplenty, and there were weeds aplenty. Cockroaches, go into the house, stomp on them to get rid of them. But yeah, just to kind of doss about in the island. Do a bit of swimming.
Yeah.
Catching things. Do a bit of digging up things. Doing a bit of fishing. Catching some fish.
Thanks for explaining what all these words mean. That's really handy. Doing some walking, when you move your feet and you sort of
walking, yeah. Doing a bit of emoting.
When you're like waving that.
Yeah, wave. That kind of thing. And I was like, it's quite good. I quite enjoy this game. I was like, I'm going to try and add more things to my museum. And oh my god, I took Blathers the Owl 8 fossils. I don't have a lot of fossils, right? 8 at one time. And I went, oh, I'd love, these are great. Unfortunately, we already have these. I'm like, but do you? Like, why? Why do you always need to have the ones I'm giving you? Why isn't there more variation in what I'm digging up or what I'm catching or any of that kind of stuff? Because you dig up the fossil, it goes, oh, it's a Brachiosaurus torso. We've already got them. And you look and you've already got like fucking 50 of them somewhere. Like there have not on that small island, there has not been 50 Brachiosaurus to have 50 torsos. Mix it up a bit. And it's the same with fishing. It's like a sea bass or something like that, or a loach, or a squid. Give me some cool sharks. Give me some variation, so I feel like I'm actually doing something with it. Like I'm fishing. Oh, okay. There's a sea bass. Oh, but now I've got this thing I've never got before, or now I've got this thing I've never got before.
Yeah.
Oh no, but now I've got a loach. Like there's just no. You were 90% of the time going to be digging and fishing out the same stuff over and over again, and it is infuriating.
Well, you've completed it, basically, haven't you? Isn't that?
No.
Like you've rolled credits. You've got Matey to do a song on your island.
Yeah.
Now, isn't it just about building your island up, making it look nice, getting rid of all those holes and stuff?
too many holes.
Terraforming.
Yeah, terraforming. But yeah, you'd still think you'd get a bit of variation of what you were... Even swimming. Going into the water and diving down for the bubbles. Just give me... If I've already gone down and picked up seaweed, the next time I go down, 10 seconds later, don't make it more seaweed.
RNG in it.
It's terrible.
Nature of the beast.
It's really frustrating. And then at the weekend there, bought myself some turnips.
The
the stock market.
That's
The
a
stock market.
dark path.
93. I bought... They were expensive, but I was like, I want to experience this. The reason that I gave up Animal Crossing because I found it so infuriating. 93 bells. That's expensive. I'm pretty sure we've seen them for like 19 bells back in the day. And every time I've gone back, I know. Inflation and all that sort of stuff. Every time I've gone back, they're like, Tommy and Tim are like, oh, they're 80 bells a piece. I'm like, that's not good enough. So I know that for a fact, like I've spent a cool 40k on these. It's cool 40k. I'm definitely going to either let them rot or sell them to a loss.
Well, stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Next week. Interesting. I wonder if you're more likely to play more Animal Crossing or Nightreign.
Animal Crossing is easier.
It's definitely easier. They couldn't be more opposite, could they? Yeah.
Just as frustrating. More frustrating.
Yeah. It is. Nice to
Probably
play.
going to be easier to get to a boss on Nightreign as to get a good price for your turnips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ultimate boss. Well, this is nice, having a little cozy chat. And it does remind me that at the start of the show, we forgot to mention our sponsor, Taste Invader Tea. So, let's just do this off the cuff. The Mimic's Veil is sponsored by Taste Invader. Taste Invader creates unique tea blends with creative twists on the classics and flavour combos that don't exist anywhere else. Their loose leaf tea blends are designed to be daring and delicious, right down to the packaging, featuring augmented reality arcade style animation. And I've been enjoying.
No, do it properly.
No. Because you called me out for my fast show references last week. So no more.
I didn't mean that. You may have to stop.
No more. I'm trying to think of another one now. I can't. Global Breakfast. I've been drinking that. We haven't spoken about that, and it is lovely. It's halfway.
It is nice.
To me, it feels halfway between like a breakfast tea that I would normally drink. You know, your bog standard Tetley, PG Tips, or whatever.
Yep.
And an Earl Grey. It feels like somewhere between the two of them, and it is luxury in a mug.
100%. Easy to drink. Goes down lovely. Wee biscuit.
I didn't have a biscuit.
You have a biscuit? What kind of biscuit? Like a rich tea?
What would I have? What's a good tea biscuit?
I don't know. A rich tea. I like a rich tea. Nah, I'm not going to change that.
Waffle.
Right. A Stroopwafel?
What's a Stroopwafel?
The one you
waffle
fill
with
over
a-
the top and then they melt the
Toffee.
caramel
The
in
toffee?
middle.
Is this another Scottish thing?
No, it's...
No, it's like German or something.
Stroop
Dutch.
sounds very
Stroop
Scottish.
waffle.
Yeah, fucking Stroop.
Yeah, shut your fuck up, you Stroopwafel.
But regardless of what biscuit, Taste Invader is lovely. And if you want some posh tea to impress your friends and make you seem more cultured than you really are, you can get 15% off your order at tasteinvader.co.uk using code TMV. Why are you laughing, Lewis?
I'm laughing at Alex, who is just...
What's he doing?
I just keep thinking, shut the fuck up, you strip wall.
Good. Oh, good.
I was really trying... I'm so sorry. I ruined the end of that.
No. I think
That's
the point
pretty
was
cold.
made. The point was made.
I apologise. It was Alex's fault.
It was my fault. So it's Alex's fault.
Brilliant. Let's move on. Alex, as your punishment, we'll come to you next. Have you played anything cozy?
I've played something very cozy, and I mean this would fit with T and it would fit with the Switch, but unfortunately it's not on a Switch yet. But it is coming to a Switch, so get this on your wish list. So I've been playing a game called PaperKlay.
PaperKlay.
And it's PaperKlay. And it's a little platformer where you have two characters called Chick and Nugget. And you basically, the name comes from basically two characters are made out of clay and the world is made out of paper. And it is beautiful. It's just such a gorgeous little game, and it's like, think of all those classic collectathon platformers. It's that type of experience, but Chick and Nugget play slightly differently. Like you're each of the worlds. It's not the longest game, but each of the worlds are, and I haven't finished it. Like an open area where you're wandering around and you've got buttons and stuff to collect, and eggs and orbs, and you do different things, and you have like little fetch quests. But you go into then different levels when you find books, and you need to go in these levels through the books to find an egg. And if you find enough eggs, then you can go and like chase the evil enemy on his ship that's gone far away to basically get through the game. And but it's not like, there are some enemies and there is a little bit of combat, but none of it's particularly challenging. Well, certainly nothing that I've got to so far. It's all quite serene, but it's just stunning. And like, there's like little things where you maybe need to twist stuff, and then the world starts to rotate or it will start to emerge. But you can see it crafting itself or twisting, and you can see like the ridges in between bits of cardboard and all these little details. And the music's lovely, and I think the theme, not all of the music, but the theme tune of this is partially composed by Grant Kirkhope. So Grant Kirkhope's involved in that side of it. So a little bit of pedigree from that side, and I'm pretty sure it's like a really small or single developer that's made this game.
Kev
and
is the name of the developer.
Kev, yeah.
Good old Kev.
And yeah, everything. I've been playing it in the Steam Deck. It plays beautifully. I like some standard levels, and then when you play the levels as Nugget, who's like your little companion. Like I'm thinking of them as like Banjo-Kazooie, like you've got Kazooie on your back type thing. And they will have like different conversations between them and talk to each other and stuff. But when I did the first level as him, it almost felt like a Captain Toad level. It was that kind of things where like you were more like having to go through a maze to get to the end bit to find the goal, rather than like just going through a level. So you would walk over the edge of something and it would twist and it would turn, and it was like finding your way around it. Yeah. I think when this comes to Switch, it'll do really, really well. I think it's another one of these that I know Steam Deck, it's a perfect Steam Deck game, but it needs that bigger market, and I hope it gets it when it comes to Switch later in the year.
Is that a definite?
Is it? Yeah, it has already announced that it's coming to Switch. So, well, certainly intended to come to the Switch, but I'm sure in the press releases it mentioned the Switch coming at a later point.
It says here, release date 27th of May. But then, has it been in early access for a while? Because it's got some award, Wholesome Direct 2022.
I don't know if it was maybe just been shown for a wee while. I'm not sure if it was in early access. It might have been, but it did just come out towards the end of May.
Yeah. It does look very Nintendo, doesn't it? Very like...
Yeah.
It almost reminds me of how... I mean, it's probably an unfair comparison, but like Snake Pass, when that came out very early in the Nintendo Switch life cycle, like it almost feels like... I don't think indies are going to have quite as much uptick from the Switch 2 because we've got other options to play stuff on now, and the Switch 1 library is carried over. But if this can hit and be like, oh, you've got this on Switch 2 now, then it could do really well. The same way as Snake Pass probably did better than maybe it warranted because of how new the market was. But yeah. That looks lovely.
It does feel more on the cozy side of a platformer than the challenging side. It has that vibe when you just look at it. But even when you're playing it and how it plays, it has more of that cozy side. I don't know if that will get more challenging like the later worlds, but I kind of hope it maybe doesn't get too challenging, because I think that goes against the grain a bit of what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, not everything needs to be.
no,
And that,
very pleasant, a
yeah,
lovely game.
got that sort of Yoshi's Crafted World look about it a little bit as well.
It reminded me, not so much in the gameplay, but like when you went back to like Tearaway, when I remember playing Tearaway and the Vita back in the day, and it was all crafted like with paper and stuff, and it was different gameplay because the Vita had all the different back. It was more created to show off all the bits of the Vita and how you would poke through the paper and everything. It's not that, whereas it just the actual look. The aesthetic of it reminds me of Tearaway more than the gameplay, but it definitely reminded me of that.
Very nice. Lovely. Well, I love how we started with Nightreign and complaining how horrible and difficult it is, and we've just basically talked about really nice, easy, cute games since then. That's nice. Reminds me of
Place
finishing
for them
Elden Ring
everywhere.
and jumping straight into Kirby like we all did. Yeah. The knee-jerk reaction. Speaking of a jerk, let's change course rapidly and have a little game of Guess the Outro. Turbo.
Again,
Contain your excitement.
He's really phoning it in these days.
As we just cruise into episode 50, and then I can just... retirement is in my sights. Can't wait for that day.
What have I done?
So, you know what to do. I'm going to give you 3 clues, and you've got 10 questions in which to guess the game I'm thinking of that will be the outro music for this episode. So I'll give you a clue first.
Oh, thanks.
How long to beat? 10.5 hours.
I mean, that could be many games. Many.
Yeah, many.
So this is where we guess. Do we guess now, don't we?
No, we
You
ask
have to
questions.
ask questions. Don't guess.
Don't guess.
No. Question 1.
Have we
Is that-
discussed this?
Oh, sorry. You go.
Oh, Alex. I was going to say, I'm talking to Alex here, Ben.
Go for it.
I was going to say, have we discussed this game on this episode? What were you going to say?
That'd be good. Well, I think I was going to say is that an indie, but I think that'd be a good question because we've not talked about that many games on this episode. So go with that.
I'll answer that question then.
Yes, pass it over.
No, we have not discussed this game on this episode.
That rules out a handful.
Yeah. Only 50,000 remain. Next question.
I know, but what if? What if?
What
That would've
if?
been great.
Oh, jackpot. Do you want to ask your question next, Alex, or something else?
Something else. Will we go for one of the is it a and then
Yeah.
list 17 genres?
Is it every single genre possible?
Yes.
What should we go for? Because we always kind of go for Metroidvania, platformer, sports, puzzle, or something like that. RPG.
Battle Royale. FPS.
What are you thinking?
Um,
I think we should I think still go for like RPG.
yeah, RPG, platformer, strategy,
RPG, platformer, or strategy?
or rhythm.
Or rhythm? No, none of them. Number 3.
Is that 2? Is that an indie? I might as well ask it.
Yes, it's an indie.
It's an indie.
Number 4.
Character name and title?
No.
Not Hollow Knight.
So it is an
Yeah,
indie.
Alex,
Alex
is it?
just don't
totally.
give a fuck.
I've told you before.
Number 5.
Is this an indie? Yeah.
It is an indie. Yep.
Should we say is it an isometric? Do the same what we do for genre. Is it an isometric or side scroller? That kind of thing. You think?
Yeah, I was thinking we could ask, is it an indie that's part of a series? Because there's not that many indies that have had more than one in the series.
Ben's, yeah, let's ask that.
Is it part of a series?
Yeah.
No, not part of a series. That means you get another clue. It's clue time. Clue is...
A quote for IGN.
No.
GameSpot says this.
No. Charles Hart of Game Informer says... Despite minor flaws, blank has firmly established itself as one of the most groundbreaking stories in video game history. Grandiose statement there from young Charles.
Is it I'm going to do another genre. I've got a game in mind. Is it a walking sim? A puzzle game? Or a beat 'em up?
Walking sim, puzz, beat.
Wait there. Now I don't know off the game I'm thinking of, so any of those.
Now, as we found with Night in the Woods earlier, walking sim can be quite difficult to define.
Yes.
So, I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Okay. Question 7.
What game were you thinking, Lewis? Because we don't need to guess it, but you can tell me what game
Yeah, you can chat amongst yourselves, sure.
Firewatch.
Right. See, that would... To me, that's a pure walking sim, so I don't think there would be any dubiety. The other one, I'm thinking when he's saying Charles Hart of Game Informer, and I'm thinking he's a min-maxy person and they like 1,000 Times Resist. Ben likes 1,000 Times Resist. And I think that had a good story. But I don't know anything about it, so I don't know what genre it plays into.
I thought it was an RPG, but I'm not sure. I know nothing about it. That was just my assumption.
Am I allowed to Google that, Ben? Or is that cheating?
That is cheating.
Oh, Ben, can you tell us, not as a question because you've played this game, what type of game is 1,000 Times Resist? That's not a question for the quiz.
I can only answer yes or no questions, Alex.
But this is out with the quiz. This is just a general
We're
chat.
in quiz time right now.
It's banter
And the
between
clock
hosts.
is ticking.
It's a sidebar.
No. I can't answer that.
Right, what are we going to ask next?
What is the... What in 1,000 Times Resist, what's the... Fucking hell, what do you call it? Not like the gameplay view. Like, is it first or third person or something else?
I don't know.
You don't know. Is it first person? Firewatch is first person.
We can ask that. Might as well.
Yeah. Oh, is it first person? That's that.
Yeah.
Is this game in a first person?
No.
Perspective.
Not first
Perspective,
person,
that's the word. No! Damn it. It's not Firewatch.
Not first
That's
person.
6.
Now you're on 8.
Yeah.
Can we have a run through? What were the 2 clues again? Just the first one, even, because the second one was Charles Dance. What's his name?
Yes, it was the what's his name? The Lannisters. Tywin Lannister says, how long to beat? 10.5 hours.
What was the first clue? Sorry.
The lion does not concern himself with the sheep, or something like that. And do you want the other one?
Yes.
What the
first clue.
The first clue. That 10.5 hours. How long to beat?
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was.
Yeah.
Well, that was
When
too
you
long.
said-
Firewatch, anyway.
Yeah.
Firewatch was too long. Come on, question 8.
Question 8. What are we going to do?
Eyes on me, Alex. Yeah.
What about asking if there's a number in the title?
Oh, a good one.
Is there a number in the title?
Great question. Yes, there is a number in the title. Number.
I don't like how you said that.
I'm
How
going
you
to add.
confirmed that.
I'm going to add that to my pool of questions for when we do Time Bomb again. Number and title.
I mean, I feel like it could be 1,000 Times Resist. I
Yeah.
don't know how to narrow it down because I don't know enough about the game. I think the only other thing I know about it was kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, could we ask if Ben has played it and really enjoyed it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Ben, have you played this and really enjoyed it?
I have played it and I've really enjoyed it.
Oh my goodness me.
It's that 10.
You're on 10 now, yeah. And
So
remember,
you've got a clue then.
you got one more question and then one more clue and then you can
All
guess.
I've got...
right. You ask a good question,
I
though.
was going to ask a really stupid question. It would only
do.
work if it was 1,000 times. What was it called? 1,000 times resist. Because it was literally could literally be the only option. Because any other game is a no so far.
Mm-hmm.
Have we mentioned this game name so far in the quiz?
Or you could just re-ask your first question. Question 1 again. Have we mentioned the game on this episode?
Yeah.
You have now, yes.
Right, so give us a clue just in case.
Okay. The clue is, I think this was just question 9 all over again. Yeah, at least one of us had it in our personal top 10 of the year last year. So the answer is
1,000 Times Resist. 1,000 Times Resist.
1,000 times resist.
Well done.
Well done, guys. You managed to guess a
was
game
fairly-
you know nothing about.
I was fairly confident in that min-max clue in the middle.
Yeah. I thought you might get that.
Yeah.
That's good. Well done again.
But I just didn't know. I knew even less about that game than I thought I knew about it.
It's just some fucking Ben shite. Is it an RPG? Yeah, it must be. Is it Japanese? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it is a really good game and one I recommend both of you play.
Is it on the Switch?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe I'll play on a Switch too.
There you go. Be a good one. 10 and a half hours. Bash through it. Very good. Really good story. Very cool. It's their first ever game that they made as well.
Wow.
The studio. Yeah. And it's a good one. 1,000 times resist. Soundtrack is very good as well. And it's sort of... It's very moody. You might like it, Lewis. Moody, sort of sad, some sort of moody pianos and very
Talk about language.
drony synths and stuff like that. It's yeah,
Sounds great.
yeah, that's pretty good. The one we're going to listen to is called Year Unknown by Lean Cacho, who does like roughly half of the soundtrack. And yeah, it's a good one. And it's a great game that I think more people need to play. You too, anyone listening, play 1,000 times resist. It's brilliant. Any interest in that from you, Lewis?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one that I think just on the basis of what you said about it, or that I know that you really like it, has made me want to play it for a good little while.
Yeah. I don't think we've spoken about it at length because I think I played it before we started this podcast, didn't we? But yeah, really good one. So yeah, play it, enjoy it, and enjoy this song from 1,000 times resist.
What better way to celebrate the launch of the Switch 2
Just do that. Sorry,
by playing...
just do that again because I think that what was. I think you distorted a little bit.
Did I? I'll stand back a bit. What better way to celebrate the release of the Switch 2 by... Does that make sense? What better way to...
Sorry,
I'm
now you're
overthinking it.
overthinking it.
That makes sense. What
What better way
to by playing...
than to play? Fucking hell! What better way to celebrate the launch of the Switch 2 than by playing? Yeah, that. I think you needed that.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Cool, this would make you a cracking stinger at the end. Wow, they're fucking idiots.
Pretend you're in a pub. Listening to three idiots talking.
Basic
That's all.
language. Sorry. I'll shut up.
What better way to celebrate the launch of the Switch 2 than by playing...
We're overthinking this now.
Just talk about Nightreign. Don't worry about the Switch 2 thing. Just do what comes naturally.
So...